in California, and I know it's early AM in Australia, right, and late PM in the UK. I'm really delighted that we get a chance to gather this way. I mean, this is one of the special things and gifts, unexpected gifts and consequences of having a world experience of sheltering in place. So one of the things I think is important to remind us is that the Labyrinth movement was named the Labyrinth movement in 1998. It happened to be May 12th, by the way. It was Mother's Day. And I remember I was, I think, teaching in, Arizona somewhere. And the New York Times came out, and lo and behold, we found it that morning. And here on the bottom of the front page, below the fold, was the name, the Labyrinth movement. And it got specific and got concretized, and nothing like having the New York Times say it worldwide. And so the Labyrinth movement is a movement because of all of us, and because of all of us working with labyrinths, loving labyrinths, and knowing the power and the wisdom that can come through walking a labyrinth, including finger meditation tools. And so that was the beginning. And what was so important, I think, is to realize that we're all a part of this. And this is what's thrilling, to come on and look where we are, and naming all the places we are in the world is really an important and a wonderful part of our being together. And once we're able to leave our homes, just imagine what's going to happen. So that's my hope as we step forward. So I'm delighted to introduce Kay Mutert, and many of you know Kay already, of course. And she's a Veritas faculty person and has been for many years. She's been teaching with us. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for that. She's author of Seasons of Change, really kind of a lovely, lovely memoir of your experiences in England, and also written a chapter or so in creative ministry. So it's really a delight, Kay, to have you lead us in our meditation today. So please, step in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. I'm one of those who is a little bit technically challenged. So if I push a wrong button, will try to get me back on things. I get back, I think I said this 2 weeks ago, it's about story, and it's about connection, and it's about who we walk alongside, and who we become connected with, and who we're willing to share with in this beautiful journey of the labyrinth. And so for me today is highlighting two different things. It's highlighting the fact that we've done this for 4 weeks now. This is the 4th week, that it's brought us together. It's made us realize the value and the importance of walking together, whether it's finger walking or talking or doing whatever. And so I hope we look toward ways that we can continue this journey and find ways to be connected, how important that is right now in everything that we do. And so on this particular 24th day of April, I go back to another friend who I met long ago. When I was in 2004, I was doing a program at the Ainu community on Songs for the Journey. And I was talking about the way stories and musical stories speak to our hearts. And I introduced the Labyrinth there. And one of the participants back then was Kay Barrett from Cambridgeshire of UK. And she can correct me, but I think this was her introduction to the Labyrinth all those years ago, and she found her heart in it. And so Kay now serves as the UK regional rep. Anytime I've done anything over there in the UK, Kay has been there to help us. And a couple of, in 2018, I guess, fall, we did an advanced training in Bedfordshire, at Bedford, with Cass Howe's wonderful support there. And I invited Kay to do a meditative, a finger labyrinth meditation for us. She has worked with those a lot. And so I I invited her to come back today to help us do that again, this whole idea of the finger labyrinths and how we're learning how meaningful they can be and how rich they are. And so, Kay, I'm grateful that we've had this long journey together. She pointed out to me that I asked her to send me some things. She was one of the members of the founders of the Labyrinths in Britain group. She's a member of the TLS. And she also is a natural voice singing teacher and voice coach. And I found this fascinating, and I'll speak to it in a minute, with a special interest in singing as therapy for people living with lung health conditions. And so Kay meets, I think weekly, with the group, helping people to find their voices, to strengthen their breath, their lungs. All of this is so important, our breath and what's going on right now. And so she may refer to that and say something about that also. So in this time, we've learned 2 or 3 different chants that we've used in these weeks. And I hope you will continue to do that, to use your own voice in walking the labyrinth and to find words or chants that speak to you as you finger labyrinth walk, as you walk by yourself, when nobody can hear you, when you can sing for yourself. And so in this time, I will invite Kay to come into our work and to share a little bit about what we've talked about in our conversations together about this. I want you to know that I am at my piano today. You can't see it, but I'm at my piano because one of the values of all of this is finding your own voice, your own gift, your own way of writing, communicating, of stitching, of drawing, whatever you do. So take time, when we have time, to see what it is that is your voice, your gift, not somebody else's, but yours. And so now, KB, we email back and forth with KB and KM, so we know who we are. So KB, I'm going to invite you to come into our conversation as you are going to tell us about one of my favorite persons, Julian of Norwich, and how the song came to you and how her words speak to us today in this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. Yeah, and it's so good to be here with quite a few different friends who I've met through the Labyrinth over the years, and of course lots of friends who I've yet to meet, but it's lovely to share with you this evening. Yes, Julian is very special to my heart. I think a lot of you may have heard her saying, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. She was a medieval mystic. She lived quite a sheltered life as an anchoress in a little cell attached to the church in Norwich, which you can still visit today. But she wrote the very first book in the English language, and certainly the first book written by a woman, called The Revelations of Divine Love, which are an account of some visions that she received when she was very ill, when she was about 30 years old, I think. I'm going to begin, though, before we get into my song, which has the all shall be well words, by just asking you to tune into your body as you sit, wherever you're sitting right now. I think this is important before we move into our meditative state, just to connect with your body and how it's feeling now. And check that you're sitting in a balanced way and that you're well supported. If you need to grab a cushion or something like that, do that now. And have your finger labyrinth ready on your lap or on a table in front of you or on a cushion in front of you, because your finger labyrinth is going to be an important part of what we're going to do. So just tuning into your feet, give your toes a little wriggle, let them relax. Your lower legs, let them just soften and relax. Your upper legs, your sitting bones pressing into your chair and the chair supporting you. Picture your spine uncurling, perhaps one vertebra at a time. Let your shoulders relax. Rest your hands lightly on your finger labyrinth. Check that your jaw is relaxed, all those little muscles in your face. Begin to notice your breath and notice how when you breathe in, the breath feels cool. When you breathe out, the breath feels warm. Notice that wave motion of the breath flowing in, expanding your chest and your back. See if you can notice your belly also expanding with the breath and falling away as the breath goes out. Just like a wave billowing on the ocean. And maybe notice any sounds that you can hear. Sounds inside of your room, sounds outside of your window. Observing those sounds, but just letting them be. As if you were sitting by a river, just letting those sounds flow by. And as you sit with your hands just resting on your finger labyrinth, just take a moment to consider the material that your finger labyrinth's made of. Mine is a lovely, smoothly finished carved wooden one. Maybe some of you have got cloth or different kinds of material. Consider where that's come from and the hands that have worked to create that labyrinth. And in a spirit of thankfulness, enjoy the texture of your labyrinth. And as you take your hands to the entrance of your labyrinth, choose which finger you're going to trace the journey with, and let that finger just rest lightly there at the entranceway. You might think of it as like a tree trunk or the stem of a flower, depending on which pattern of labyrinth you're using. And as we pause there at the entrance, preparing for our labyrinth journey, I'm going to just teach this simple chant with the words, "All shall be well." And I'm going to repeat each line so that you can sing it with me if you would like to. And that is purely optional, and you'll be muted so no one else will hear you. So you can do whatever you like. Just enjoy tuning into that sense that all shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. Do repeat that with me. All shall be well. 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 If we do that once more, all shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. And I like too to use the words, "Don't be afraid," and "Know you are loved." I'm going to sing those, and I'm sure that you'll be able to join with me, at least in your heart. And afterwards, Kay's going to play some recorded music for you to listen to as you trace your finger labyrinth, and taking with you that sense that all shall be well. Don't be afraid, and know you are loved. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Know you are loved. Know you are loved. Know you are loved. Know you are loved.
As we move into time in our finger walk on the labyrinth, hear these words of Thich Nhat Hanh in this week of Earth celebration. The earth is so beautiful. We are beautiful also. We can allow ourselves to walk mindfully, touching the earth, our wonderful mother, with each step. We don't need to wish our friends, peace be with you. Peace is already with them. We only need to help us cultivate the habit of touching peace in each moment. All shall be well. Don't be afraid. Know you are loved. Thank you, KB. I wonder if we could sing through the tune to close this time. If we'll sing in our places, but you lead us in it to put closure to this. Yeah.
You need to mute yourself. That's it.
I will. I won't sing aloud.
Well done. All shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Know you are loved. Know you are loved. Know you are loved. Know you are loved.
Thank you. And in that, let us hold that silence for just a moment or two longer. Let us hold that space, the beauty of the words, the beauty of our thinking and singing and breathing together in this time. Let us be still. This is a remarkable time. Let me hold up one more thing. This is the labyrinth that I had chosen to use today because it's a labyrinth made by the Rowan industry in the Cambridgeshire area in the UK. And this is a community of persons with particular abilities who create these beautiful labyrinths for people to use. And one of KB's projects that she does is share these labyrinths, the texture, the feel of these labyrinths for other persons to have. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kay Barrett. It was really, really lovely. Wonderful to meditate with live music,
Yeah.
not put through the computer system, which seemed to work quite well. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Kay. Really lovely. And hope to see you next week. And join us in the Worldwide Labyrinth Day. Blessings. Blessings on the path.